Hey y'all, how you doing? Well, I'm gonna kind of go through how we descale our air conditioners on the boat today. There are 3 air conditioners in here, and we can descale them one of 2 ways. We're going to use what they call the pickling method, or we're going to fill up the entire raw water cooling circuit with descaler, and then let it sit for 2 hours, flush it, and then push more fresh descaler in. That's probably the easiest way. The other way is to individually go to each air conditioner and use a circulating system. I'll go over that depending on your system and how you want to do it. But for now, we're going to prep the system up and then go down into the engine room, mix up the descaler, and fill up the system. The way we're going to do that is make sure all of our air conditioning systems are off. There's only one pump in our boat that pumps the raw water to all 3 air conditioners. So what we do is we mix up the descaler. I did the math. I know it takes about 2.5 gallons to fill up our entire raw water circuit. So that works out well because one concentrated bottle of descaler makes a total of 5 gallons. You dilute it 4 to 1. And then that'll fill that up. So what we'll do is what we'll go in there, we'll mix it up. When we're ready to do that, we'll come back up here. We'll turn the system on for a very short period of time until half the bucket is gone. And then we'll put a 2-hour timer on and wait for the scale that builds up from the heat to be dissolved. All right, folks, down here in the engine room, we're just filling up the bucket here with water from the dock. So obviously we're using fresh water. Pretty simple here. I just put it on the soaker setting so it doesn't make a mess, and then I fill it up. I do this before I mix in the descaler because I don't like the descaler where it's just a little plastic to fly all over the place. So I get it semi full, and then we'll pour in the descaler here in a second after we pull out that foreign object. Also have my little aquarium pump is what I use to push the descaler in. It's going to get pushed into the AC system here. We are going to close the seacock, which I'll do here momentarily. And then once that seacock is closed, it creates only one way out for this, which is through the air conditioning system. Again, like I said, inside, we'll fill this bucket up, and then we will let it go into the AC system until it's about halfway empty, and then we'll put a timer on for 2 hours, and then we'll come back and do it again, timer for 2 hours, and then flush it with seawater. So next time you see this bucket will be full of the descaler, and we'll be ready to activate the air conditioning system. All right, so I quickly popped the ladder out of the way so I could get to the air conditioning seacock, which is down here. And close this guy. If you don't close this guy, all of your descaling fluid will just go right out of the boat into the water, and you will get nothing accomplished. So we're pretty much set up here. Next thing you'll see me doing is turning on the air conditioner and watching the fluid go into the system. Okay, we're all set up in the engine room, and we're going to reconfigure switches here inside and get this fluid into the air conditioning systems. So as I mentioned, you can see it sitting down there, ready to get pumped in. We'll put about half of the bucket in, give it 2 hours, and then come back. So we're going to come in here. We're going to get the pump relay on. All I need is the one air conditioner I need, which is the salon air conditioner. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit cool here. That'll start up that AC pump. And then when we're about halfway down, we'll come back here and we'll turn that off and we'll shut the valve in the engine room. So it gets a little convoluted here, but see how she goes here. All right, so we're going to start up the aquarium pump. We now hear that pump running for the air conditioner. We have the aquarium pump going. We are now seeing the bucket level go down. Once that's at about half, we're going to close that valve so it doesn't push back in the other way. All right, there we go. Turn that off. And now we come in here, turn off the air conditioner and the pump. And so what we've done, it's spinning around, but so what we did was we now filled our air conditioning system with descaler. We closed this valve so it can't get out. The seacock is also closed. Like I said, about half the bucket is in. We will do the other half of a bucket. We turned everything off in here. So right now we're just going to start up a timer, give it a few hours, and then come back. All right, as promised, we have the timer going for the air conditioner to do the pickling method. If you were going to do the recirculation method, I can show you how that works. So down here, this is our salon air conditioner. We had to replace this one right after we did the boat. Pretty easy swap. Right here are your seawater in and return lines. In this case, your seawater comes in down here and returns and goes back out to the main drain in our boat and out into the water. So right now these tubes and these hoses are full of that descaler. The reason you get problems with it is inside here the salt, when these get hot, sometimes the salt actually kind of bakes and cakes to create that scale inside of there. And so what we're doing now is we are breaking that down using that descaling chemical. That being said, if you were going to do the recirculation method, you would take that same bucket with that same aquarium pump. You would come in here, you would drain your system out through the engine room as best you can, and it's below here, so normally it all drains back, at least on our boat, into there. You would hook the aquarium pump on right here, and then you would put a return line right here, and you could literally just allow that stuff to circulate for an hour, 2 hours, what have you, and that would descale this air conditioner. Then you would have to go to the midship, and then you would have to go to the forward air conditioner to do that 3 separate times. I would argue that's probably a more effective way to do it. We have people coming out on the boat tomorrow night, and I don't really have the time to do that, so we are doing the pickling method. Both of them will work. I think you'll get a longer usage before the scale builds up again if you did the recirculation method, but the pickling method works, and so that will keep this air conditioner from going high pressure. When you see your air conditioner read high pressure, it's often because the water flowing through these tubes that are cooling the condenser. So this is the condenser coil, and what happens is the water isn't cooling enough because there's so much scale built up that the heat transfer can't occur the way it's supposed to, so on and so forth. So we're getting rid of that scale using that chemical. So I'll be back with you in a few hours to put this the second dose in, and then a little bit after that we'll reopen the seacock and we will flush it out with just salt water and make sure we don't go high press on this air conditioner. Talk to you soon. All right, it's been 2 hours. We're going to go ahead and plug in the pumps, open the valves, spin the air conditioner one more time, suck the last of that 2 gallons of descaler into the system. So here we go. We're going to open the valve here on the air conditioning seawater strainer. We're going to plug in the aquarium pump that pushes the fluid in. My apologies. So we're going to plug that in. And then we're going to come up here and redo the system again. So we'll turn on the air conditioning pump, the salon air conditioner. We will hit cool. Wait for the system to come on. Air conditioning pump just came on down there, and we are now watching the bucket here for it to be all the way empty. All right, so we can see it draining the bucket. There's the air. As good as we're gonna get, it looks like. And we'll shut that valve. Turn the AC off. Turn the pump off. Turn the air conditioner off. There we go. The rest of it's pushed in. Another 2 hours, and then we'll come and flush it. All right, y'all, here we go. We're going to take out the ladder. We're going to open the seacock, and then we're going to turn the air conditioner on. So you can see I've already pulled the hose and the bucket out from underneath here. You can see how the descaler changes the color of that fitting. And then all we do is reach under here and open up this seacock. Wow, it goes here. Ow, just hit my elbow. That's not fun. All right. Okay. All right, seacock is open. So there's water flow back to the air conditioner there, which is good. Go ahead and come up here and put the ladder back on, so it's semi-easy to get out of the engine room here. You can get out of the engine room without the ladder, but a little more work. So it had a total of 4 hours of soak time, or pickling, as they call it, and then it will just get flushed out with the seawater here once we get inside and turn on the air conditioner. All right, now here we go. We're gonna bring them all on this time and hit the buttons and see what happens. So pump should come on. Oops, around a circle there. Make sure water's pumping. Should see it any moment. There it is. All right. So cooling water is now pumping back out of the boat. And we should have some nice cold air coming out of the vents, which we do. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave that run for a little bit, make sure it doesn't go pressure high, and then that'll be it. Till the next time the scale builds up, and then we do it again. Appreciate y'all watching. If this was valuable for you, please hit subscribe and punch the bell so you don't miss any more of our videos. See you next time.